Alrighty, everybody. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another live stream, you guys. I am here literally as soon as I woke up. I'm like, oh, hold up. We're having some streamception here. Okay, I think we're good now. But anyways, everybody, I literally just woke up and I'm like, yeah, we got to do some snowfall coverage here because Florida, believe it or not, the Sunshine State, is actually getting some snowfall right now, which is pretty wild here. We actually have a little bit of accumulation already reported. Um, out here for the Panhandle, it's actually coming down pretty good. Right now, some of the heaviest looks like it's out there by like Greenwood, Florida, Mariana, Oakdale, some of those areas there. Anyways, let's see what we have here for today. We have Dude. Good to see you, dude. Let's see. It's actually a historical event. So Panhandle for Gulf Shore, Carolina, maybe. Yeah. It's not anything like last year. I don't know if you remember. Last year we actually had a pretty big accumulating snow for the Panhandle of Florida. Now this one's just kind of like a little spurt of snow. Still, some accumulations will be expected for some of these areas here, but yeah, it's not going to be as significant as last year's, but it's still very rare and still super crazy. Absolutely. Let's see here. See, it's just cold and damp in Jacksonville. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, Jacksonville is not really going to be seeing any snowfall per se out of this, but we will likely be getting some rain here. Here, let me hop you over to this one here. Here is the composite reflectivity here you guys can actually see. And if actually I play this in motion here, you can kind of see how everything's moving around here. Obviously, we have the snow on the backside here, where the cooler air is. And then, of course, we have ourselves the rain, ahead. So it's definitely quite an interesting event going on here. And actually, I do have some cameras to show it to you guys here, which we'll do right now. Here, let's actually hop our way back over to... We'll go to this scene here. This should be pretty good. I have a whole road. I-10 is full of cameras, thankfully. So we actually have a lot. Let's see here. For sure, crazy. Yeah, it's definitely pretty wild. So some of the heaviest snow right now, like we mentioned, is out by Mariana, which is kind of the central Panhandle, which is, let's see, Mariana should be out here. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is kind of where some of the heaviest of the snow is right now. Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness, dude. First camera of the day. Look at that. So that's in Florida. That's on I-10 out by Mariana. It actually looks like it's coming down pretty good. It looks like the roads are wet, but I don't really see much accumulation. Unless that in the grass here. I don't know if you guys can really see my cursor. But if that's in the grass, that might either be A, sand, or B, snowfall accumulation. It's kind of hard to tell because this part of Florida is a little bit sandy. A lot of Florida is sandy, so it's hard to tell, honestly. But 100% snowing. I mean, you can see how slow that those flakes are falling, but they seem to be pretty fat flakes, which, I mean, that lines up pretty well with the radar here. I mean, you can see the heavy precip above me, there in the pink, really showing some heavy rates of fall. So we definitely could be seeing quite a bit of, heavy snowfall rates, even though the system's not really lasting super long, for this area, given that the rates are pretty high. I mean, we can accumulate some snowfall. Matter of fact, if we hop back over here to the radar for a minute, so you can see out by, let's see, Defoniac Springs, wherever the heck that's at. It's north of Freeport. They actually had a report of a half an inch of snowfall, which, it's not a lot. But for Florida, hey, I mean, that's more than they typically get. So definitely quite interesting. Now, I don't know if the models, I haven't checked this morning. Like I said, I literally just woke up here. I'm not sure if the models have this thing going into Tallahassee. Yesterday, when I was looking at the weather models, it has the snow kind of cutting off just slightly west of Tallahassee, which we'll look at the models here in 1 second. Let's see. Hooray for snow. Yeah. How neat. It really is. It's definitely interesting. So many climate zones in Florida. Gotta love the variety. Yeah, so the thing is, Panhandle, Florida gets a little bit different weather than we do in Central Florida. I'm here in Central Florida, and we get a little bit different weather because we have influence from the Gulf of Mexico as well as the Atlantic. So, given that we both have both of the bodies of water here, that is that. But yeah, the Panhandle, on the other hand, they get a lot of continental air. A lot of air coming in from the mainland U.S., which tends to influence their weather patterns a little bit differently, which is pretty crazy. It's pretty cool though. But unfortunately for me, anyways, we're not going to be seeing any snow down towards Central Florida. We're supposed to get freezing temps again tonight, which I'm not really excited for. But yeah, the snowfall, not really expected. Here, let me bring up the models for you guys. We'll hop over to those right now. So let's do that. So if I actually bring up the HRRR here, we're gonna do the sub hourly. I think this is a great use of the sub hourly HRRR. So let's do that right now. We'll also bring up, let's see, precipitation type, do precip type, reflectivity, and we'll go back to the 12 UTC run, which is the fresh long range. You can kind of see here. Give it 1 second to load. So right now, the current time is 9 a.m. So that's kind of right here on the model here. So we work our way down in time here. You can see, obviously, the blue being snow. We continue working until right around 11 o'clock, actually. Yeah, it looks like right around 11 is whenever the snow kind of exits Florida. But at this point in time, I mean, it's still going to be likely snowing kind of out here by like Macon and some of these regions here in Georgia. A lot of really heavy rain, though, is going to be associated with this here later this afternoon for a lot of North and South Carolina. It's going to be coming down pretty good. I mean, you could see probably some pretty heavy rainfall going on. But then, of course, we also have that northeasterly bit of snow going on here actually right now as well. Currently it's snowing out here across the Northeast, in which they're actually likely going to be seeing a decent amount of accumulation here, which, we'll look at the accumulations here in a few moments, but definitely is going to be, pretty good snow for the Northeast here. But anyways, yeah, let's actually look at the accumulations here. We're going to do, I guess we'll go back to the normal HRRR here. We'll go back to the hourly one, 12 UTC. And we'll actually look at the totals. First of all, we're going to look at the rain totals. We'll just do QPF here. I want to look at the total rainfall that's supposed to be falling here. Now, it looks like across the south, like the Carolinas here, it looks like we're not really expecting much more than an inch or so, which is pretty good. I mean, so there's really not much of a flooding threat from what it looks like. But up to the north here, let's bring up the snowfall totals here. And we'll also look at those down south here as well. So if you go to precipitation, 10-to-1 ratio, you can actually see that, the Northeast here is probably going to be getting, quite a few inches of snowfall out there by like Long Island. I mean, HRRR suggests maybe 4 or 5 inches of snowfall, maybe some locally higher amounts possible, given, that there could be, some areas that get a little bit more than others. Like New York State here, I mean, we're talking maybe New York City, we're talking maybe about 4 inches or so, which is pretty wild. And also showing like eastern Massachusetts, possibly like up by like Plymouth, maybe even into 6 inches or so, according to the HRRR here. Pretty heavy snowfall, about a half a foot possible. Then you got Rhode Island here, anywhere from maybe 4 to 5 inches, locally higher amounts possible. But what was that? Like I said, I just woke up, so I'm losing my mind here. So, anyways, this morning, so on the snowfall totals down south, not nearly as much as the storm in the Northeast here, due to the fact that the system's not lasting as long for the south as it is for, some of these areas up north. But we could pick up a couple of inches here, given the models and stuff like that. So we were actually just talking about this area, Funlac Springs. I'm not sure how you say that. The Funlac Springs, however you pronounce this area. They actually had a report of a half an inch. This was reported here. What time is this? Hold up. Let me pause the radar here. So this was reported at 13:22 UTC. So this would have been an hour ago, basically. So with that being said, yeah, so that's probably the total that they got, was about a half an inch, when the models were suggesting 2 inches. So, that's one reason that models are not perfect. The models are far from being perfect here. But according to the HRRR, we could see maybe, a couple of inches out there in some areas. Now, that area probably didn't get, the full amount, but some areas could, Got to keep it out there for that. But anyways, let's hop back to some of these cameras here. Let's take a look and see what's going on now. So some of the heaviest snow, like we mentioned right now, is out by Marietta, which is right here. on the map. So if we go a little bit east of Mariana, maybe out to this camera, should have some snow on it. Just looks like a wet camera for the most part. Don't really see much snow. Maybe we'll have to go a little further east here. Actually, let's go all the way down towards. You know what? Let's go to Grand Ridge area. Maybe there's snow out here at this point, which doesn't look like it. We might need to actually go a little bit further up north again here. Let's go back up here. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can see the snow falling on that one. Let's see here. Weather reports aren't perfect either. That's true. That's true. Let's see. That was reported from a train spotter. So, I mean, their way of measurement could be a little iffy. I'd trust it more if it was like a NWS, National Weather Service report. You know, those are official. They have equipment to. They have like the fancy measuring sticks, stuff like that. But anyways, but yeah, you never know. Honestly, the quality of the report and stuff like that does matter. Absolutely. Let's see here. Always Chasen says better than a hurricane. Debatable. I love me a good tropical storm down here, but yeah, unless they cause like significant damage and stuff like that. At that point, no. But see, for this, it's a little too cold for me. Not a big fan of the cold, honestly. But anyways, but yeah, hopping back over here to the radar. You know, you can see there's still a little bit of Florida snow going on in here. You know, once again, a lot of it right now is out by Mariana, Greenwood, Florida, Malone, Jacob City, Cottondale, Alford, Wausau, I think it is, Wausau, and Chipley. And it looks like out by Tallahassee, we are getting a little bit of rainfall right now here. Let's actually hop to Tallahassee's radar here. Yeah, we might have a little bit of rain going on in Tallahassee. Let's actually see if we can't pull up a camera out there, see what kind of precipitation it is, because, you know, precip type isn't always perfect whenever it comes to it, but more than likely it is raining out here, which, given the quality of the camera, it doesn't look very good, but yeah, I mean, it is likely just rain out here. I mean, the roads are soaked, as you can see. Let's see, it's too darn cold here in Michigan right now. I can't take this. Yeah, I don't know how you do it. It's way too cold. Way too cold. Let's see here. 12 inches of snow usually reported as 8 inches. That's what I meant by a comment. Yeah, I got you. Gotcha. Trish says, just woke up to snow in Windhaven Beach, Florida. 0.25 miles from the sound. You mean, I don't know if you meant shore. Goodness, but yeah, that's definitely something to wake up in Florida, isn't it? Seeing some snow. It's not really every day that you see stuff like that. It's pretty crazy. But anyways, but yeah, let's hop back over here. We're gonna kind of follow the snow here. So the snow right now is out by Mariana. Let's see if we can't maybe try one of these northern cameras. Maybe it'll be okay. It's snowing here a little bit. You can see it's definitely coming down pretty good. This camera, where did I select this at? This was up by. Oh, this one's up by Jacob City, which is right here on the radar above me. You can kind of see in that little panel. So Jacob City's right in here. That's where this camera is right now. Here, let's hop on back. Definitely pretty. You know what? Yeah, look at that. There's actually a little bit of accumulation. It's weird. You guys can't really see this. I wish. Here, let me break my display real quickly for you guys. Hold up. I got to do this. So let me move this down. There you go. It's really weird seeing palm trees in the same image as you see snow. Look at that. There's palm trees right there. And yet you can see snow accumulation. Like I said, it's not every day that you really see that. Here, let me just make this fit to the screen here. Maybe I'll do this. Do that. Do a little bit of midstream editing here. Perfect. Just like that. But yeah, I mean, it's weird. You don't really always see the palm trees and the snowfall accumulations in one frame here. Okay, let's try some other cameras. Maybe we'll try one up by like Alabama, Florida border. Ooh, you know, it actually looks like they've gotten a bit of accumulation here. Let's see here. Santa Rosa Sound. What most people would call it. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see here. Kimmel says it's weird. You people in Georgia enjoy your snow today. Hey, Georgia and Florida. It's not just rare for Georgia. I mean, Georgia actually gets more snow more often than Florida does. Florida's a lot further south, which is pretty crazy. I mean, yeah, actually, you know what? We'll hop over to the radar real quickly up in Georgia. Looks like we actually do have quite a bit of snow reports coming in here. Here, let's switch over to Macon radar. Ooh. Oh yeah, look at that. It's coming down pretty good out by Macon, it looks like. So this was reported at 13:30 UTC. This was at Peach County, Georgia. An estimated note they said estimated, not approximate. Estimated 2 inches of snow fell at Hayes Court in Byron. 3 inches out by Monticello. Let's see, report from media of 3 inches of snow in Monticello. This is from broadcast media there. I mean, even out by like Barnesville, we got 1.5 inches reported. Let's see here, Thomaston, 1.5 inches here. Yeah, a lot of these are broadcast media. I don't know if I have any cameras out here in Georgia. Hold on, let's do Georgia. I'm not entirely sure if I do or not. I might. I think I do, actually. Let's bring you guys over here to the cameras again. I do actually have some we can look at here. So let's hop back over here. We'll go back to Macon Bacon. And then we'll try to... Oh, stream not available. That's just lovely. Oh, stream not available. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. Looks like whiteout conditions over here. Holy cow. This is out by Macon, by the way. What's up, Carrot? Good to see you, dude. Let's see. You have friends in the Panhandle, Panama Beach. Gonna get a hold of them today and see how much they got. Gotcha. Yeah. They were actually supposed to get a little bit. Even by the coastal areas, which is, certainly pretty crazy. Anyways. See, crazy how last year we had the South Coastal event. Then again, this year, South is getting blessed with snow recently. That's true. Although last year's was way more significant. Actually, we mentioned that a little bit ago. Yeah, I think parts of Florida last year, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they got like a foot in some areas. I know out by New Orleans they did. Like eastern Louisiana got a pretty good amount too from that storm. Pretty crazy, actually. All right, let's see here. Let's go out by Warner Robins. There's apparently that's where the heaviest of the snowfall is going on right now. Maybe this camera doesn't look like it's working here. Ooh, here we go. Oh wow, look at this one. I'm gonna need to edit the camera again. Hold up. Let me just move this down. Yeah, look how heavy it's coming down there. Goodness, that's really coming down. Let's see here. Dufree says, "Be sure to like." I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, that's definitely pretty crazy though. I mean, just like that's coming down pretty good. I mean, that's coming in pretty fat flakes. I mean, if you get this for a while, that'll really build up. It'll really accumulate pretty quickly. Here, let's try maybe the one to the north here. Let's see this one. Oh, this one has a better ground view. Yeah, they've got some pretty good flakes here. Yeah, also you can see the ground's definitely picking up on some accumulation here. Definitely pretty wild here. But yeah, the snow will continue throughout Georgia here for a while. It looks like it is definitely coming down pretty good. It looks like a lot of it, though, is mostly south of Atlanta. I don't think Atlanta. Here, let's go to the KFC radar. Every time I hop to the KFC radar, it reminds me of KFC, and I want chicken. So, yeah, it looks like a lot of the snow's out of Atlanta, unfortunately. Well, fortunately for some, unfortunately for others. Yeah, a lot of it was supposed to be east of Atlanta for the most part. But there was a regular viewer here that comes by who's always in Macon, and I was telling him yesterday it's kind of a hit or miss, but it looks like they're kind of getting the fatter end of it. Let's see here. Carrot says, I'd love to be out there. Big coat and gloves and boots, of course. Oh, me too, as long as I was inside. because it's too cold for me. I know I always baby about how cold it is. It's just, oh my gosh, why am I so bright right now? Holy cow! It's just always, I don't know. I've gotten so used to the warmth down here. You literally acclimate to the weather. It's crazy. A lot of people think I'm crazy for that, but trust me, you do. All right, let's hop back over here to the Florida side of things here. I'll go back to Mariana, which that is right here. So some of the heaviest snow is out in this area right now, it looks like. Which just looks like a wet camera for right now. It's about all. Some of these cameras, I think, have heaters on them, I learned. Which actually, if they do pile up some snow, they actually, like, melt it. So that's probably why the camera lens looks just wet. Yeah, you can see the snow falling. Oh, maybe I need to actually switch to the scene so you guys can see what I'm looking at. There you go. I can't believe I just did that, man. But yeah, now you guys can kind of see. You can see the snowflakes. They're coming down pretty slowly for the most part. Don't think there's really any accumulation on this one. I think what we were talking about earlier, I think that is sand. Because, like I said, Florida's very sandy here. Maybe I wish there was more cameras north of I-10, but I mean these ones won't be good for that much longer because they're actually about to lose their snowfall out by like Jacob City. It's about to end there for you guys. Not too much longer before those stop for those regions there. But you know what? At least we have I-10. We have this continuous train of cameras, so I think we'll be good on camera coverage for today as well. Not to mention, of course we have Georgia's here too, which Georgia has some pretty good activity going on right now. 3-inch hail report, or not hail. I'm not used to covering winter weather. I'm sorry. We have a 3-inch snow report coming in here. Here, let's hop back over here to the radar. So we got 3-inch. Oh no, my program broke on me. Well, that's just absolutely lovely. Here, let me switch back over here for a moment. We'll restart this program because it absolutely loves to cut out on me every once in a while. So that's perfect. All right, well now we should be good. At least it doesn't take like 20 years to load up like some of these weather programs do. Yeah, Monticello. This was as of 1408 UTC. This was in Jasper County, Georgia. Source from broadcast media reporting from media of 3 inches of snow in Monticello. Let's see here. Parts of Columbus, Georgia has snow 40 minutes away. Oh, okay. The comment went goodbye for some reason. You said Columbus? Columbus, Georgia? Wait, where was Columbus? I keep on forgetting where Columbus, Georgia. I know there's Augusta. That's a common one that we look at. I might need to actually pull it up here. Columbus, Georgia. Here we go. Yeah, actually Columbus, Georgia is in a winter storm warning, believe it or not. It looks like a lot of the snow for those guys has ended, though. Columbus is on the kind of like the west central side. If I can find it. Finding cities is really hard because the text is the same size for every town, so it's like, it makes it a pain. Anyways, but yeah, Columbus is somewhere. Actually, Columbus should be like right here somewhere. It doesn't even show up. But yeah, Columbus is right in here. They honestly really shouldn't be seeing too much snowfall. All right, let's see here. Deuce says, been up all night. Sorry I can't stay around with you guys. Have a good one. You too, man. Have a great rest, my friend. Thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate it. Yeah, it looks like the Florida snow band is narrowing a little bit. But yet again, I mean, precipitation type radar is not perfect, It is not perfect. But anyways, yeah, right now we have a lot of the snowfall falling out by like Delwood, Oakdale, Compass Lake, Round Lake, Mariana, Cottondale. That's kind of where the snow is right now. It is just kind of west of Tallahassee, which, yeah, Tallahassee right now, they're mostly just seeing a little bit of rainfall currently. Let's see, Carrot says the joy in those sorry, the joy in those in the southeast must be feeling. Must be feeling seeing true snow again. Huh? Hold on, let me try reading that again. The joy in those southeast must be feeling seeing true snow again. I think I know what you meant. They must be like happy that they're seeing snow again. Yeah, I bet. They're definitely probably not really used to it. Just imagine if they didn't even know it was coming. It's like they just wake up to snow and it's like, wait, what? I'm sure that'd be quite the shock because I'm pretty sure temperatures out here like yesterday were like in the 60s, 70s even. It's crazy. I mean, just how quickly the weather can change, especially when you have like a front like this come through. It's crazy just how like I don't know how crazy things can change here over a short period of time here. Another thing I do want to actually mention, hopping back over to the weather models here, back into 12 UTC HRRR. So one thing I do want to look at is the accumulated max wind gusts here. Let me pull this up. So actually, it looks like we're going to be getting a pretty decent amount of winds getting ready to actually hit Central Florida, right where I'm at. My weather station shows central pressure down to 1,014 here right now. Winds right now are 1 mile an hour. Temperature 63. That's crazy. Right here in Polk County where I'm at, on my personal mesonet, I have 63 degrees Fahrenheit right now, almost 64. And then up here in the Panhandle, it's down in the 30s. Which let me check the mesonet out here. Let's see kind of what we're looking at out there in terms of temperature. So let's bring you guys over here to this view. We'll do temperature, do North America. Yeah, so temperatures are actually at the freezing point out here. Crazy. Crestview like 32 out there. See Greenwood 33. Yeah, you can see just a little bit of ahead of the front. Out by like Tallahassee right now, it's 42. It's just a little bit too warm for snow. Quincy 39, 37 out in Blountstown. I think that's how you say that. Out by what is that? Altha. And then you got areas behind the front here. It's like 33, 32. Yeah. Cold air is coming in on the back side, coming down this way. So you wrote that correct, but it's a bit of a tongue twister. Yeah, I'm just not good at reading things like that. Let's see here. The joy of those in the southeast must be feeling seeing true snow again. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, sorry. I'm also just waking up, so I apologize. Because Andrew's not fully here right now. I'm just warning you. Just letting you know I'm not fully here at the moment because literally just crawled out of bed and I'm like, okay, I gotta go live. So didn't really have too much time to wake up here. All right, well, let's hop back to the cameras here, you guys. We'll take a look back on I-10. I do want to bring this up again for y'all. So let's hop on back here to these cameras. Actually, we'll go back to the Florida cam. So yeah, some of the heaviest snow in Florida right now is out by Oakdale in Mariana, which that is, let's see here, Oakdale. It's just south of Mariana. So, Oakdale's like right here in this area. Let me grab this camera maybe. Oh, there you go. Actually, I think we looked at this camera here just a moment ago and I don't think it was snowing. So, yeah, it looks like it's definitely starting to pick up quite a bit here, actually. Now, given that it's kind of like a short burst of snow, honestly, I don't think these totals are going to be that great, honestly. I know the models, that we were looking at yesterday and stuff, kind of suggested maybe, 2, maybe 3 inches of snowfall. I honestly don't think we're going to get that. I think, honestly, if we do get any accumulation, it's going to be under an inch, probably even under half of an inch of snowfall. It could range. It could be a little different in some areas. They could get a little more, but, honestly, just given how quick this burst is and kind of how warm the roads and stuff like that are, I don't think there's going to be like any significant impacts here from this here. Now, Georgia, on the other hand, like we mentioned, Georgia, that's a bit of a different story. Georgia, they're actually having accumulating snow. And given the fact that first of all, nobody knows how to drive in the South here, but also the fact that there's a lot of snow and people aren't used to it down here makes it a little bit, just a little bit more tricky to drive on and stuff like that, which can lead to some crashes and stuff. So just be sure. I mean, if you're in Georgia here, let's actually hop back to the Georgia radar. If you're out in Georgia, just be sure to have caution while driving. I know a lot of central Georgia, that's where a lot of the heavy snow is. Like I said, right now, Macon, Warner Robins, Jeffersonville area, that's kind of where a lot of the heavy snow is. And matter of fact, radar kind of shows like 30, 40 dBz, which that's high in echoes coming in from the radar here. So likely seeing some pretty big flakes here, which we can actually pull up the camera once again for Georgia. We'll do that right now. So we'll hop over here back to the cameras. We'll probably look for one out by, let's see here. We have one for Milledgeville. We need one for Jeffersonville. Okay, so there's none out by Jeffersonville. The closest one is this one right here. So let's pull this one up here. Yeah, so you can actually see here in Georgia, it's actually accumulating. In Florida, it was a little bit. There's a little bit of snowfall that was accumulating, but I think Georgia's going to be getting most of it. That's crazy. I don't know if you guys remembered me a minute ago saying that my temperature outside was 63. It's now almost 65. Like, the temperature goes up pretty quickly ahead of a cold front because, you get a lot of that advecting airflow, from the south here. Let's actually hop back to this view here. So basically, what's going on right now is you have the main cold front here. Okay, you have all this cold air on the backside pushing against the back like this. And then, a matter of fact, you actually have warmer air coming up ahead. So briefly warms up before the cold air takes over. And given the whole cold front is pretty much moving eastward, eventually the cold air will overtake a lot of Florida. That's why we actually have freeze warnings now in effect for Central Florida again, just because of the fact that, the cold air eventually will overtake the area, once the front passes and, we get into that cold air mass, it'll come over, but it'll be pretty cold again tonight, which I'm not looking forward to. Wind chills as low as 23 in Florida. Wow. That is pretty wild here. Yeah, I'm sure the wildlife here is not really liking it very much. Let's see, Central Lake County here. See, 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 29.96 inches, 3-mile-an-hour winds from the southwest. Gotcha. I don't go off of inches. I always go off of HPA/MB. Let's see here. Any chances that Baxley, Georgia will get snow? Well, let me look up where Baxley is, and I could tell you. Okay, so Baxley is under a freeze warning. Although I think a lot of the snow will disappear by then. Let me bring up the models, though, just to be sure. Here, let's bring you guys back over here. We'll do this. Bring up to HRRR, precipitation, type reflectivity. So, yeah, you're out by eastern Georgia, which, see, how far away are you from Augusta? Okay, you're pretty far south from Augusta. Okay, so you're down in this. Okay, you're right here. Gotcha. So, it looks like you're mostly just going to stay rain, and you actually could be coming down pretty well. You can see a lot of the blue, all of the snow will be just west of you. So I don't think you're going to see any snowfall. I know you probably want to see some. Unfortunately, the way it looks like, I think a lot of the snow will fade out by then. Because essentially what's going on here is there's something called diurnal heating. It's a fancy term for just daylight heating. Just as the sun comes up, it heats up everything. That's what's going to be happening here, is the fact that we're going to be having, obviously the sun's coming out now, and it's been out for a little bit, but it's going to heat up everything, and it'll heat it up to the point where it transitions a lot of the snow back in the rain, because it'll increase those surface temperatures and make it, while the mid levels of the atmosphere will be supportive of snowfall, meaning the temperatures are below freezing at that level, on the surface, that'll increase our temperatures, making it too warm to host snow. Which any snow that does fall in the mid-levels, which if you go up in the atmosphere, it'll be snowing still, but on the surface, not really, because, the temperatures get warmer, and it'll actually melt the snowflakes back in the rain droplets. So, Yeah. Unfortunately, though, I don't think you're gonna really see anything out of this. Let's see here. What's up, Kaiser? Good to see you. Hopefully, I'm saying your name right. I probably am not, knowing me, but I hope you're doing good. Let's see here. Will Tallahassee get snow currently? No snow or sleep. No, I don't think Tallahassee's going to get much of anything. Models, they do kind of suggest that the snow will end just before we reach Tallahassee. Which, I mean, if you look at the radar now, hopping back over here, you can kind of see where the snow is now. It seems like there's just a little sliver left of snow currently falling right here in Florida. Most of it by Tallahassee is just rain, just simply because it's too warm. But since everything's starting to heat up, like we mentioned again, it's going to prevent those temperatures from getting to the point of allowing snow to fall. Before the precipitation rolls out, so it'll warm it up just enough to prevent snow from falling. Unfortunately, so Tallahassee's likely not going to see any snow, but yeah, only probably a couple of hours left for Florida seeing snow, but that not necessarily the case for Georgia. I mean, Georgia's snow is probably going to last a little bit longer. Models suggest a lot of the transition from snow into rain happening in Georgia right around noon. Yeah, right around noon. That's whenever everything should transition from snow back into rainfall. Let's see here. Very rare snow. Oh yeah, it's definitely pretty rare event for sure. That's actually why I wanted to cover this with you guys. Just wanted to kind of go over this in real time, showing you guys like what's going on here and stuff like that. Because yeah, it's certainly rare. Definitely quite an event, and I definitely wanted to cover this one, dude. These temperatures are going up ridiculously fast. So now, remember how I said a minute ago it was like 63. Now it's 65, almost 66 degrees. And by the way, I actually have a real mesonet that they have like at a weather center. Me and my friend built this one. So this one's like hyper accurate. So I know that this is good data here. Let me bring up my site. I might here. You know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna bring you guys back over here to this scene real quickly. We'll bring you guys right here because I'm actually going to pull up the site and show you guys the temperature trend here. Let's see here. Let's do this. Maybe that. Oh, I had this saved here. I honestly, his URL is a little bit tricky. Let me see if I can bring it up here on my Discord real quickly. By the way, guys, if y'all want to join my Discord, we actually have it in the description, so you guys can check that out here. Let's see. You know what? What I'm gonna actually have to do here. Here's what I'm gonna do instead. I think I'm actually just gonna pull it up. Here, let's hop back over here. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone and then just kind of show you guys like the graph and stuff. Show you what it's doing. But yeah, the temps, they are like really, really, really picking up here. All right, so it's loading here. Let's see here. Maybe some flooding with the event because heavy rain sits over North Carolina and South Carolina for a while. Yeah, we actually looked at the totals here, and honestly, it didn't really show a lot of rain. Here you go. Look at the graph here. See that red spike? How it's going straight up. By the way, that those values on the right there, those are humidity values. Don't ignore them. That's not temperature, but that spike in temperature, I mean, it's literally going like straight up, which that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. It's already almost 67 degrees right now. I mean, like, it is just really, really, really climbing, and it's gonna have a really hard crash once that cold front rolls through. Gonna be wild. There you are, free thinking. I was talking about you earlier and how we were talking about your scenario yesterday, and oh my goodness, everything froze for a minute. But we were talking about the scenario yesterday and how you could see some snow and stuff, which it seems like it's turning out pretty good for you. And of course, my program crashed again. Here, let me reset this again real quickly. Literally, So happy though, it takes like literally 2 seconds to launch. So definitely pretty good, pretty good. Let's see here. Yeah, no, it is 66.5 degrees right now. It literally was just 63 degrees like I don't know, like maybe 7 minutes ago. It's going down, it's going up pretty fast right now, just before this line does hit you, which is pretty wild here. All right, let's hop back over here to the radar again. Let me actually check Central Florida, see what the radar is out here. I'm just kind of curious. Yeah, so we're in the warm sector here, so this is where all the warm air is rushing forward. Like I said, we have the cold air coming back from from that air mass, the cold air mass that's coming down, going from the northwest to the southeast. And then ahead of the cold front, the winds are kind of going from the south to the northeast, essentially. So you see some snow now. Not as bad as Massachusetts. I'll take this. Hey, there you go. Yeah, actually, yeah, you guys were supposed to get a little bit. Matter of fact, reports out there in Macon right now are kind of sitting probably anywhere from 1 to 3 inches. I mean, there's no fresh report from Macon, but given surrounding reports here, definitely looks like there's quite a few inches actually that's fallen out there. Which, remember what I was telling you yesterday? It's like, given the models, I mean, their models aren't perfect. They're not going to be perfect for a while, if ever. They give you a suggestion, but forecasting an event like this is very tricky. They're pretty rare. The models for a while weren't really agreeing on anything here. Kind of until last minute we started getting more support, but it's yeah, I mean, it's just looks like you got a little bit more than kind of what some of the models were suggesting. Although it looks like it should start to light up here pretty soon. If we play this in motion, yeah, you're kind of going from the heavier end to the lighter end here. So, it'll probably still snow for a little bit longer. But let's see. I did say 50-50. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a hit or miss with models. Some of them are good. Some of them are iffy. There is no one model that's perfect every time. You got models that are good one event. You got some models that are better another event. That's why you got to take all these models seriously. You got to kind of see what they agree on, what they don't agree on, and kind of find the middle, the common ground. That's really the best way to do it. But given my personal experience with this, it could have gone either way, which it did. It looks like it turned out in your favor for this event here. Cole, don't even go there. Come on, man. I just said 67 degrees. Oh my goodness. Humidity's 81% right now on my mesonet. Let's see. Pressure is down to 1,014 MSLP, mean sea level pressure. STPR station pressure, like pure raw pressure, is 1,009. But that has to do with my elevation and stuff, which I'm about 140 feet above sea level. Yeah, it was so 2025, man. Come on. What are you doing now? All right, let's bring up the what you call it again? Cameras. So it looks like a lot of the snow is probably heading out of areas like Marietta. We'll check a camera out by Marietta to see what's going on out here. It's still snowing, actually. Yeah, radar still shows a little bit, but it would probably be ending pretty soon. Yeah, Marietta didn't really see much. I mean, they did see a pretty heavy burst of snow there for a little bit, but I mean, as you can see, there's really no accumulation. Simply probably because the grounds are too warm. And plus, given it is a, essentially a pretty quick burst of snow. If it sat there for hours and hours, and if the conditions allowed for it, then yeah, eventually it would start accumulating. But yeah, it just didn't. Anyways. But yeah, going back to your comment, free thinking, not as bad as Massachusetts. Yeah, actually, so the thing is that they are actually getting a bit of snow as well. It's not just the South, actually. Well, the reason we're covering the South is because of how rare it is. But Up in the north here, up in the northeast, it's actually coming up pretty good as well. You can actually see we do have a bit of snowfall going on right now. It's a little bit of a cluttered map here. I apologize. Here, let's remove these warnings and stuff. Makes it a little bit better. But yeah, you can see some snow falling out by like New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York State, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. That's definitely what we're seeing there. So they're actually going to be getting a pretty good amount, especially out by like Long Island. We looked at it a minute ago. They're probably going to be in the range of maybe 3 to 5 inches. So pretty good amount of snow out there. Free thinking. Thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate it, my friend. Saying Andrew, that's why I trust your forecast first. Thank you. You're very welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for that. That is greatly appreciated. If you guys could please give free thinking a big thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I had my tablet around here somewhere that I could actually pull up chat on. I was gonna do it, and I just remembered now. But it'll be right. But thank you for your thinking. I really appreciate that, and that really helps me out a lot. Like, so thank you so much for the support. Greatly appreciated. But yeah, I mean, like we were saying a minute ago, the Monticello, they actually reported 3 inches of snow out there. We did get quite a decent amount actually for Georgia standards. I mean, 3 inches of snow, that's pretty good. Let's see here from this is from Jasper County, Georgia, broadcast media. See train spotter 1.6 inches, 2.5 out there by Cuthbert, which is in southwest Georgia, out by Morgan. 2.5 inches. That's from broadcast media. This says average of snowfall from several measurements. So that's a good way to do it. That's actually how I used to do it back when I lived in Virginia. It's like I would pick 4 corners of my yard. I'd measure it on each corner. I would add up all the values together and divide it by 4. And that'll give you your average for snow totals for the entire event. That's a great way to measure it. Matter of fact, that's how you need to measure it. You can't just take one measurement and be like, oh, yep, it's 3 whatever inches here. And then another part of the yard, it could be like 2 inches. Some areas get drifts and stuff like that. But yeah, the real way to do it is pick different points far away from each other in your yard, add up all the values together. So say you had 3 measurements, you would add measurement 1, measurement 2, measurement 3, add all those up, and then you divide it by the amount of measurements. So in that case, 3 measurements, divide that by 3. Bam, there you go. Let's see here. Glocklow says, what about Lexington Park, Maryland? Maryland's not really going to be seeing much snow, I don't believe. You actually got a little bit. I think, was it yesterday? I think yesterday. Here, let me bring back up the models here again for you guys. We'll bring you all back up there. So, well, you know what? Actually, models, the HRRR here does show maybe a little bit. Here, let me bring up your area real quickly. We'll pull up Lexington Park, see what we're dealing with here. So, okay, so yeah, you are actually on the eastern side. Okay, hold up. That's why it's always good to double check. I'm glad I did. Okay, so you, my friend, are down right here. So it does look like you could get maybe a little bit of snow. It's going to be a little tricky, though. Looks like it could start off as a bit of rainfall, transitioning into snow here during the evening. Totals-wise, let's bring up our 10-to-1 ratio here. We'll do precipitation. We'll do total 10-to-1. All right, so let's do that. Looks like maybe an inch or so. I wouldn't be surprised if it was less than an inch. I mean, I honestly, I'd say anywhere from like maybe 1 to 2 inches. I mean, there could be some models, which we'll look at a few other models here. We'll do the FV3. FV3 shows about maybe 1.5 inches of snow. Then we got the NAM3K, which shows a little less than an inch. So I'd say maybe about an inch or so. It's kind of the middle ground here for the most part. So anyways, let's see. Snow near Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah, you guys are actually getting a little bit of snowfall out there. Here, let's bring over our radar for a minute. We'll sacrifice a few minutes to hop on over here up to the northeast. Actually, we got some reports in southern Maine, it looks like. Here, let's bring up Massachusetts for a minute. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely coming down pretty good out there, it looks like. I think some of the heaviest accumulation in the Northeast today is going to be up by like New York City and Long Island in general. Which, I mean, it looks like it's really coming down out there in Long Island right now. Which it's kind of coming in two waves. You know, we have a wave coming in this morning, which is happening now. It's going to kind of lighten up a little bit during the afternoon, and then kind of the later afternoon, evening, it'll pick back up again. Let's see here. If you're cold, so are they. Bring them gators inside. Yeah. I don't have the room for all that. Plus, I don't want to have wild snappers in my room here, personally. Hey, but maybe you can come get them. I'm sure they'd love that. All right, let's bring back down our radars. One thing I do not like about this program is I have to hop radars to get to where I want to go. There is a little catalog, but by the time it takes me to get to the actual radar by hopping radars, oh, you know what? It actually looks like a lot of the snow might be starting to fade out in Florida. But I tell you what, like I said, precipitation type is not perfect. It is an estimate more than anything approximate. Let me bring up cameras again here. Let's hop back up here. We'll bring up Alpha. Yeah, so a lot of the snow looks to be east of Mariana now. So here's Mariana. Let me grab another camera, see if it's snowing still. Yeah, so snow is stopped here for the most part. It actually looks like a little bit of flurries are still going on, but for the most part, yeah, that's out there. Let me go a little bit further east. Let's go by Cypress, maybe. Oh, yeah, okay. It's still coming down pretty good up by Cypress. Which, let's see, where is Cypress? Cypress is east. Okay, here we go. You know what? This is actually perfect because Cypress is right here. So that's where the camera is. We're kind of catching the last little glimpse of snow potentially falling here. But, yeah, I mean, we're not really seeing any accumulation. By the way, guys, it's 68 degrees now. It is warming up so fast, dude. 81% humidity. Goodness, man. Yeah, alligator's actually pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. It is pretty good. They have there's a place down here in Florida where I go to. We have they have gator bites. Oh, gator bites are so good. I know I'm getting really off topic, but you guys mentioned gators, so I had to tune in a little bit on that. But yeah, gators, they're good. All right, let's hop back over here. So it's still definitely a pretty good amount of snow falling here in Georgia. Definitely still very heavy up by like Jeffersonville, Georgia, Irwinton, Hawkinsville. Some of these town names, dude, they're like, what? How do you even say some of these? But yeah, definitely we still got pretty good snow, but pretty good snow going on right now. But like I said, guys, I mean, this is probably going to be transitioning in the rain here by noon, for the most part. Free Thinking says no. They're good. Trust me. See, snowing 20 miles south of Boston. Gotcha. Yeah, like I said, the Northeast is going to get pretty good amount of snowfall here. Let's actually hop back up to the models. We'll overlay the snow accumulation with the reflectivity here. So you can see the darker blue. That's the current falling snowfall, and the lighter blue, that's where the accumulation has taken place. So just letting y'all know. But yeah, we have one round coming through this morning, and then you can kind of see how it hold up. You can see how it kind of lightens up a little bit. By the afternoon, for the most part, you can see it lightens up a little bit, and then as the evening comes in, it actually picks back up quite a bit. So it's kind of like two big bursts. One this morning. I mean, for some areas, it's going to be continuous snowfall, but it is going to slow down a little bit before picking back up here. Yeah, especially later this evening, you can see. I mean, we're probably going to be seeing some pretty good rates here. It is 68 degrees. I think I said that a minute ago. We are at 2 miles an hour. Actually, I'm going to reset my program here. This is the raw data feed coming in from my weather station. So you have the raw data input, or coming in from my weather station wirelessly on my internet server. And then you have the output, which converts it to like Fahrenheit and stuff like that. I'm gonna restart the program though, because I want to get fresh measurements. Like with the what I mean by that is like the wind speeds, because right now it's 2.6 is the max wind speed so far. So I'll have that fresh for the front here. 81.5% humidity, 1,014.5 HPA. That measurement's from Polk County, by the way, Florida. So that's ahead of the cold front. I'm really curious to see just how much it's gonna change here. Once that cold front actually does pass here. Here, let me bring up those temps for a minute. Actually, we're gonna bring back 2-meter temperature. Do want to show you guys that. We'll bring up the HRRR 12 UTC run here. So I mean, yeah, you can see all the really warm air, and then it just gets overtaken by cold air tonight. Like, not looking forward to this here. Yeah, it's gonna be right at the freezing point out where I'm at here in Lakeland, Florida. But then you got like a bunch of spots, in some rural areas that could even get cooler than that. So, but yet again, another really cold night, especially up by the upper Midwest here. I mean, look at this. Temperatures are going to be well in the negatives tonight. Like Minnesota, we're going to be talking like -10s to maybe even -20s in some spots here. Which, remember, this is your actual temp. This is a 2-meter temp, so it's 6-foot altitude, which is surface. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. Pretty cold. That's way too cold for me. I don't even know how you guys even do that. Do not even understand how you guys do that. And then, like I said, on top of that, we're actually going to have a little bit of strong winds here, too. We actually have a bit of strong winds going on right now towards the plains. You guys could see some gusts 40, 50 miles an hour out there, for a lot of the central northern plains, portions of the Midwest here, too. Even the Ohio Valley, you can see basically for early Monday morning, it looks like. Yeah, so Monday morning leading into the afternoon, it could get pretty windy by the Ohio Valley. Maybe 30, maybe close to 40 mile an hour wind gusts in some areas there. Free Thingy says, I was in Boston when they had the snowstorm of 78. I was a kid. Everything shut down for a while. It was crazy. The snow was higher than me. That's crazy. Do you know how deep it was? Because the biggest snow that I've ever seen was when I lived in Northern Virginia, 2016, which 10 years ago. Holy cow. That was about 10 years ago, actually. It was February, or no, was it No, it was January 22nd. So it's almost to the 10-year anniversary. Wow. But anyways, there was the snow that we had in Northern Virginia, and it had dropped like 3 foot of snow, which it was wild. That was a wild snow. It was up to my waist. I mean, I was shorter at the time, but that was pretty crazy, for sure. See, the gators and stuff will typically dive into the mud when it's cold. Yeah, they also go in the water too, which the water stays a bit warmer than the air temperature, because the thing about water is it takes a lot longer, a lot more energy, a lot more time to cool down and heat up water as opposed to air temp. Just the air temp. It takes a lot of time to heat up a body of water and cool it down, essentially. So if it does get like this cold, then a lot of them, likely go in the water as well. They don't sunbathe in this. It's probably way too cold for them. Which, I don't blame them. Don't blame them. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, though, is that, Central Florida here, we're probably going to even be seeing some maybe 30 mile an hour wind gusts. Maybe some local spots, maybe upwards of 40 miles an hour could be possible. I'll keep it on it, though. Ever since I reset the program, the max winds is 10 miles an hour already. 9.6, but close, rounding to 10. Like right at this second, it's 3.3 miles an hour. So the winds are starting to pick up because the environment is changing rapidly at this point in time. All right, let's hop back to the cameras, y'all. We'll bring up those cameras. I know a lot of you guys want to see the snowfall in Florida, so we'll do that. Like I said, we're kind of running out of Florida snow right now, though. I think a lot of that might be kind of ending relatively soon. Here, let's try this one here. Oh, no, it's still snowing pretty good here. Very bad camera quality, but you can see it is snowing. This is in south of Sneads, west of Greensboro, Florida. So it's still snowing quite a bit. Although I don't think you guys are really going to be seeing any accumulations here. I think the accumulations from the models were wrong. I think they were definitely wrong there. Hey, let's go back. Where's this at? Yeah, we're just kind of south of Sneads here. That's where that one camera we were looking at is. But it's going to continue up there for Georgia, like we said, up until right around noon or so. It'll actually continue a little bit longer. Everything says, no, I really don't remember. Just remember people got stuck on the highway for a couple of days before they could get help. That's crazy. Goodness. Mindy says, I have a friend who is visiting Panama City and said it was snowing there. Oh, really? I think a lot of the snow out there is probably done with, yeah, at this point in time. But yeah, I mean, it was, I can confirm it definitely was for a lot of these areas here. Here, let me hop back to the radar here for a minute. So there's Panama City right here. You can see that nothing but radar clutter now at this point. But, you know, a lot of the precipitation's to the east here, which, you know, like I said, precipitation type, you know, the green showing rainfall, and the bluish pink showing snowfall. So that's an estimate. You know, once again, precipitation type's not perfect at all by any means, but I mean, I can confirm. I mean, from the webcams, it is still snowing in Florida. Yes, it is absolutely still snowing in Florida. But you know, given everything's starting to heat up now, it's probably going to end pretty soon for Florida. It'll end in Florida first, and then it'll end in Georgia, which, like I said, the models were kind of suggesting around noon, because you could already start to see, you know, from the precipitation type here that you know, it's starting to the snow band's starting to get a little bit narrower. Here, let's bring up the Georgia cams again. I want to see if we can find the point of which snow is falling and rain is falling. So let's hop on back over here. So it shows pretty good snow. Looks like Macon's starting to get out of it. It does show areas like Eastman, Chester, Allentown, Dudley, Hawkinsville, Wrightsville. Those areas are like right on the line of seeing some snow. So let's hop over towards... We'll go up at Dublin. Let's try Dublin first. Oh, wow. Oh, that's a pretty camera. Wow, look at that. Those are some pretty fat flakes, too. That's what I'm saying. Those areas they're getting it pretty good. Anyways, that's out by Dublin. So that's right at the point where the precipitation type turns from rain. So it says if we go any further east, it should be rainfall. Which it just looks like it very hazy on that camera. Let's try another one. Maybe we'll go up north here. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's a really weird camera. All right, well, don't like that. Let's go this one here. Yeah, look, it's not even raining there. It's not even snowing there. It's just rain. So, no, I mean, precip type's kind of on the money here. You know, out by Macon, is where it's slowing down a bit. Dublin, it's kind of the farthest east point here. What's up, Clover? Good to see you, dude. Oh, here's a pole camera. Oh, yeah, dude. Look at that. We got a pole camera. This is my favorite camera of them all. Hold up. I gotta make this thing full screen at this point. Guess what? I'm always changing it. Here, we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll just get full screen view on that. Look at that. Nice pole camera. This is where it's at right here. Hey, but I can confirm though on the pole cam it is absolutely snowing here. Dude, we're almost at 70 degrees outside now. We're at 69.5. Literally, it was 63, like, what was that? Like, probably 25, 30 minutes ago? That's crazy. That's crazy how fast that changes. See, that's the way it looked when I got up. It's stopping now. Yeah. Macon should be starting to get to the end of it here. Let's try the middle camera. Yeah, that one doesn't work. Let's try this one maybe. Oh, here we go. Ooh, that's pretty. Look at that. Yeah, so it's accumulating on the grass, you can see, but on the road, yeah, the roads are still a little too warm, I think. Which, thankfully, it ain't gonna last too much longer, because shouldn't be as much of a, shouldn't be as much of a driving concern. Hopefully, a lot of that precipitation can actually dry up on the ground before nighttime comes, because it's supposed to, because it actually is supposed to, what is it? Shoot, I'm losing my words here. Hopefully the precipitation on the ground actually dries up before the night, because we have that dry air mass coming in here. That's what I was trying to say. And the thing is once the dry air comes in, it'll actually reabsorb some of the moisture on the ground, as the air passes over it. So it'll kind of collect it in the air again, which will also kind of help dry things out. Goodness. But just hopefully it all, gets dry by tonight, because we're supposed to get a lot of freezing temps out here, which will probably cause it to freeze. That could be an issue there. Back to the pole camera. Anyways, all right, so there's that. So that's in Dublin. Let me try, maybe we'll go down towards this. This is out by Eastman. We got a road camera. It's snowing pretty good here too, it looks like. Very cool. Let's try the southern camera. Do we really have another pole camera? What's up with all these poles, dude? Why do we have so many pole cameras? Are they like... Is there a reason why they're pointing all these cameras at the poles? Like, are they trying to watch the poles, how they react to snow or something? Oh, by the way, it's officially 70 degrees now. That's crazy. No, it's actually fluctuating. Now it's down to 69.1. It's not the sensor. It's just how crazy the atmosphere ahead of a cold front is. Like, it's crazy how fast it reacts. Do I think it'll freeze over tonight? I don't think we have any warnings for ice or anything like that. We do actually have some winter storm warnings in effect here, but that's for the snow accumulations. Honestly, I think there'll probably be enough time to dry things out between, after the system rolls through, because the dry air comes in, things should clear up, the sun should probably come out for a little bit, because you'll be in that drier air mass behind the system. Should allow for things to dry up, like I was mentioning, because the dry air rolling over that fallen precipitation will actually take up some of the moisture. The dry air rolling over will actually absorb some of the moisture. And on top of that, of course, we have the sun that'll be out too, probably for a little bit of time, which I think, here, let's look at satellite. I think that behind this, it's mostly cloud-free for the most part. Here, let's hop over to sat view. Maybe we'll do, where is visible? It's got to be around here somewhere. Here, I'll just bring it up on COD. COD meteorology will be a good one for that. I always love COD. COD's satellite imagery the best, anyways. Here, let's bring you guys back over here. So here's CODs. Yeah, so you can really see this like thick blanket of clouds here. We'll do regional view. There you go. We'll also do true color, make it look a little bit more fancy for you guys. But yeah, I mean, you can see obviously where the separation of air masses is here. So like if we go to, we'll do 96 frames here. We'll play this in motion. And also bring up my pen here too. Hopefully it doesn't glitch on me. So yeah, we have all the warmer air coming up from the south here. Because we have an area of low pressure way up north there. But essentially, yeah, we have this colder air mass, colder, drier air mass coming in. That's why it really clears out, because there's really not much moisture, behind this air mass here. But that's pushing up against, your cold front here. So the warm air comes up ahead to the northeast, flowing in this direction here. And then, of course, you have the cool air coming in from the backside pushing it. So this air mass ahead of the cold front is warmer and has a pretty good amount of moisture. And the back air mass, this stuff over here, it's kind of turning into a mess here, but this is drier and cooler. So just a little bit of classic thermodynamics going on here with these two air masses. What's up, Holly? Good to see ya. Saying, hi, Andrew, and everyone. Long Island, New York here. Been snowing in the last few hours, expecting 3 to 5 inches, with the heaviest coming this afternoon into the evening. Looks beautiful, like a winter wonderland. Well, I hope you enjoy your snow, my friend. Yeah, we were actually just looking out there a little bit ago. It is coming in 2 waves here, essentially. Like the first one, this morning, it looks like it'll slow down for some areas. I mean, given you're in Long Island, it probably won't slow down that much. Some areas will see it completely like recede, and then, of course, go back to heavy snow again. But yeah, it's going to be heavy yet again later on this evening. Let me actually bring up the models, and I'll show you if you haven't seen them yet. The precip type reflectivity here. So yeah, I mean, you can see it. We have the 2 waves. We have the one going on right now, so you're up in Long Island, and then it does look like it thins out maybe a little bit by the later morning, early afternoon, so pretty soon. But for some parts of Long Island, I mean, it still could be snowing a little bit, but yeah, then we'll really, really pick up again. You can see later this evening. This is showing 7 p.m. at this point. So yeah, I mean, it'll likely be a decent little snow for you for sure. Yeah, it's this whole little line here. I mean, it's just a little bit of snow in the south. What we've been dealing with. That's what we're covering now, and then of course that'll turn into some snow for the north here. We also can't forget about our Great Lake buddies up here, because we're likely going to have some lake effect snow going on here. Jet, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. I mean, look at all that lake effect snow. So western Michigan's probably going to get absolutely plummeted by a lot of lake effect. Wow, dude, that's going to continue on for a while too. It looks like the lake effect really starts to kick off here later on Sunday evening, which is later on this evening here. I mean, and it just goes on from there on out, all the way until Tuesday. But, gotta look out for that. If you're in Western Michigan, heads up to you guys. Could be quite a bit. Any chance of snow in Panama City? Well, Panama City has already seen some snow earlier, but at this point, the frontal system is rolled through, meaning that all the precipitation's out of the area at this point for you. If we hop back over here to the radar, we'll hop back over to Panama City radar here. You can see that, there's really nothing going on. This is east of it. This is where all that precipitation's at. The blue's where the snow is. The green's where the rain is. And at this point in time, Florida is starting to recede from or I shouldn't say Florida is, but the snow is starting to recede from the area. But anyways, yeah, a lot of the snow out there has already fallen, which not really seeing a whole lot in terms of accumulations, but hey, we did see a little bit though. But yeah, that can't really be said for Georgia though. Oh, well, there goes my program again. Of course, it's the millionth time that my program's crashed today. Gotta love it. Here, we'll bring it back up here. But yeah, the same can't be said for Georgia, though. you can definitely still see it. I mean, it's coming down pretty good out there in central Georgia. Yeah, a lot of it's pulling out of Macon, like we mentioned, for the last like I don't know, like the last like 30 minutes here. Yeah, Macon at this point is pretty much out of it. A lot of the heaviest for Georgia right now is in Hawkinsville, Eastman, Chester, Dudley, Allentown, Sandersville, Deep Step, Harrison, Riddleville. Some of those areas there in like the central side of Florida right now seeing the heaviest. Jet says thank you. Yeah, no problem, dude. I got you. You are very, very, very welcome. But anyways, let's see. But yeah, a lot of the snow should be starting to fade out here. Let's hop back to Florida cams. Let's see where everything's at right now. It still looks like it's actually snowing though in Florida. Here, so we'll go up to, it looks like Greensboro, Oak Grove area is still snowing here. Closest we can get is these cams right here, which looks pretty dry on that camera. Maybe we'll try one a little further east, closer to all that heavier precipitation. No, that was pretty dry. The snow might be starting to kind of end in Florida here. Go a little bit further east. We'll just follow down the road a little bit. Maybe we'll go down here, maybe? Here we go. This one's a wet camera. Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, I think a lot of the snow in Florida is probably coming to a close. And what's left is just rainfall. Yep. Yeah, I think Florida at this point is pretty much done with the snow. But like I said, Georgia, though, on the other hand, I mean, Georgia, they're still a kicking. Here, let's hop back out by Dudley. There's Dublin. Yeah, Dudley and Dublin. These areas should be seeing some pretty fat flakes here. That's where the pole camera is. That one doesn't work. Let's try maybe this cam. Oh, there we go. That's like the best cam. So that's the heaviest snow going on right now here in Georgia. Goodness, man. I just wish I could have that for just for a little bit. As long as I'm inside, though. All right, winds right now are 7 miles an hour, 7.2 on my Mesonet. Humidity's actually dropped a little bit. It was at 82%, now it's 77. Pressure 1014.3 hasn't changed much. Temperature 70.2, dew point 63.0. This is my weather station data here in Polk County, Central Florida. It's going to change a lot though. Once that front does actually go through, it'll change quite a bit, I'm sure. But anyways, y'all, if y'all have any questions, like I said, do not hesitate to ask. We'll be more than happy to help you guys out. If y'all want me to do like a zip code forecast or whatever, I'll be more than happy to do so. Let's see here. Bring this up. All right, so we'll bring back up the models here for a minute. Let's do. Actually, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back to temperatures. Yeah, like I said, tonight's gonna be a pretty cold night. A lot of you guys do want to bundle up here. Yeah, look at the drop off in temperatures in Florida. I mean, that's just crazy. So from Miami, you can see this is for 10 a.m. By the way, this is like pretty much now. Miami like 77 degrees, and then up on the top left corner, the Panhandle, 37 to 77. What is that? Like a 40-degree drop between Southeast Florida and Northwest Florida. I mean, that shows you how sharp this cold front is. That's crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. And of course, once the sun goes down, then it'll get really, really cold tonight. So everybody needs to be sure to bundle up because it is going to be quite a cold night for a lot of people, actually. We're going to be freezing through much of the country here, actually. Ohio Valley is going to be in the 20s. The Midwest is going to be like just, single digits up by like northern Missouri. Like all of this area here, this is where we could see like single digits and negatives. Like tonight, it's gonna be cold, so just be sure to bundle up here for sure. Yeah, a lot of these areas. There we go. You can kind of see those areas a little bit better. Really, really cold stuff. But yeah, temperatures single digits into the negatives. There's a lot of areas like right in here, which is like -10s to maybe even like -20, in some spots here. That's just utterly ridiculous. Way, way too cold. Let's actually look at the long range here. That's something we have not done so far. I want to look for any other potential systems here. So let's bring up the precip type and reflectivity. There we go. Or precip type reflectivity. All right, so we have that system rolling through. Of course, we have the lake effect snow we were just talking about not too long ago. Going into Tuesday, doesn't look like much, honestly. Looks pretty dry through a lot of the country. Going into Wednesday. Hold on a minute. What's this? This isn't that far out. This is Thursday, 102 hours out. GFS shows another little, what appears to be like a little frontal system coming through. Could drive some snow maybe for the Ohio Valley. Let me look at Euro on that. Euro ECMWF here. Does Euro agree? Not really. Euro shows it there, but it's a lot thinner. It actually shows a pretty heavy amount up by the north, up there by the north though in the Great Lakes actually. Still a bit of disagreement, but doesn't look like anything massive will be happening too soon after this. Yeah, the main thing is just the lake effect snow, which you guys are pretty used to getting, but it could be definitely a big problem. Matter of fact, actually, oh my goodness, yeah. Matter of fact, the west side of Michigan does have a lot of winter storm warnings in effect here. I'll bring you guys over to that real quickly, in which you could actually see. We have a lot of winter storm warnings out here in these areas. Let's see what some of these say. Between 5 and 8 inches here. Winds as high as 40 miles an hour. And then up north, 4 and 7 inches. Yeah, so pretty good. Pretty good amount of accumulation out there. Heavy freeze spray warning. Oh, yeah. That's going to be partially from all that. Yeah, so basically what happens here is, like we mentioned, with that cold air mass coming down, right? So we have all this cold air working its way down in the country. So given the fact that the Great Lakes are a little bit warmer, the cold air, kind of rubbing over the warmer Great Lakes can actually cause there to be some snow generation happening. It gets those snow generators started, in which, given the way that the flow, the air mass moving southeast, that's the direction in which the winds will be carrying that snow, which it all piles up along Michigan's coast. So they're definitely going to be dealing with quite a bit of precipitation, it looks like there. So yeah, just be sure to keep an eye out there for that. If you guys live out there and stuff like that, it'll definitely be quite good, just to keep an eye on it. But anyways, everybody, well, I think I'm probably going to roll off here for now. I'm going to go get something to eat and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of the Florida snow has stopped at this point. It's really, really what I wanted to cover here today, just to kind of get that going. But if you guys did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like on your way out. And if you're new, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button too. Greatly appreciated. We actually had a blizzard warning up north, up in the North Dakota here. Yeah, snow accumulation up to 2 inches, winds gusting as high as 60. That's what I was saying. We actually have a lot of really strong winds out here. So be sure to keep an eye out there for that too. Yeah, a lot of the plains this morning are really, really windy. So definitely need to look out for that. But all right, everybody. Well, thank you all for joining. I really, really appreciate it. But yeah, we'll keep you guys in the loop with everything. Like I said, other thing that's really going on besides the storm is the lake effect stuff going on. I'll probably throw an occasional update out for that, but don't really need any coverage for anything anytime soon other than this for today, which we've already done. But yeah, we don't really have any severe weather or anything like that in the future either, which is good. So things are pretty calm. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on the future snowstorm, like we were talking about for Thursday maybe. There's still a lot of disagreement in the models, but we'll have to see what happens there between Wednesday Thursday. But all right, everybody. Well, thank you all so much for joining. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And all right, my friends, we'll see y'all here in the next one. Peace out, my friends. See ya later on.